Viewer discretion is advised.
When you shot at Mr. Jean, you knew you were using deadly force against him.
Yes.
You shot at him twice. You intended to kill him.
Yes, sir.
It has taken more than a year to get to this moment. Former Dallas police officer on trial for murder describing in her own words how she gunned down an innocent man in his apartment.
I have my gun pointed and I'm saying, let me see your hands, let me see your hands.
There is no doubt that Amber Guyger killed Botham Jean, the 26-year-old victim, a beloved son, gunned down, prosecutors say, in his own living room.
She took my life away, like my very own life.
Guyger says it was an accident, mistakenly entering Jean's apartment thinking it was hers. Guyger taking the stand in her own defense, at times distraught.
I was scared this person's apartment was going to hurt me, and I'm so sorry.
At other times, confrontational.
Can you imagine Mr. Jean's perspective, an intruder barging into his apartment, somebody on the other side of that door being you, going in with the purpose of finding the threat and taking care of it? Can't you imagine that being a little bit scarier than you just being alone at the moment?
Yes, sir, I can.
She is the entire case for the defense. What was she feeling? What was going through her mind? All of those are questions that people have been wanting to know, and she answered those on the stand today.
Guyger's actions and behavior during and after the shooting, the crux of the case. The jury must decide if she made a tragic mistake or if she should go to prison for murder. The trial, the culmination of a case that's captivated the nation for more than a year.
The breaking headline out of Dallas at this hour. A
police chief there calls this a very unique case
involving an off-duty officer who shot and killed her neighbor in his own apartment.
Fueling a national conversation about race, police transparency, and one officer's use of deadly force. Last September, Amber Guyger, who'd been a police officer for 4 years, was coming home after a 13-hour shift at work. It was around 10 p.m. She lived in apartment 1378 on the 3rd floor. Right above her in 1478 was Botham Jean's apartment. The St. Lucia native described by his friends and family as a ray of sunshine.
Botham had a love for everything and everyone. So I just want the message of love to permeate throughout this whole process.
Jean was an accountant and an active member of the Pearland West Church of Christ. That fateful night, he was at home, watching TV and eating ice cream.
So help you God.
Today was a huge day. Not frequently do we see defendants take the stand to testify, but a lot of our experts were thinking to really put forward this case, she's got to take a stand.
Called to the witness stand, Guyger testified she accidentally parked on the 4th floor and walked in. When she got to the door, she says she put the key in and it just opened. At that point, she heard someone inside.
I knew somebody was moving around inside my apartment. I wanted just to find that threat.
What were you feeling with that threat?
Scared as crap.
She says she saw a silhouette move toward her. In court, Guyger demonstrated how she confronted the person.
I have my gun pointed and I'm saying, let me see your hands, let me see your hands.
What were you focused on?
Him.
Just him?
Yes.
And then he began coming towards you?
Yes.
Reporter Rebecca Lopez has been covering this case since the beginning and was in court today.
That's what the defense wants to prove, that she did not know. She really thought she was in her apartment when she fired that weapon, and she was scared. She's the only one that can convey that to the jury. No expert witness can do that.
Why did you fire?
I was scared. Whoever was inside my apartment was going to kill me. And I'm sorry. I have to live with that every single day.
It was very emotional, and I think that is something that the defense obviously wanted the jury to see.
I'm an off-duty officer. I thought it was in my apartment, and I shot a guy thinking it was my apartment.
Guyger's 911 call introduced as critical evidence.
Okay, we have help on the way. I know, but I'm gonna lose my job. I thought it was my apartment.
Today, Dallas County prosecutors' goal, pointing out contradictions in Guyger's behavior.
Do you understand that your credibility is vitally important in this case?
Yes, sir, I do.
Beginning with why she went into the apartment despite hearing noise inside.
Could have called for help on your radio, and you could have had the cavalry there in 2 minutes.
I could have.
You could have had SWAT mobilized.
They could have.
And had you done any one of those things, Mr. Jean would probably be alive today. Right?
Yes, sir.
Defense attorney Brian Buckmore says this was telling.
She puts her key in, she hears a sound, and now she's prepared. Now she's ready. She's thinking, I need to take down the threat inside. And that comes real close to premeditation and intentional acts.
When you aimed and pulled the trigger at Mr. Jean, shooting him in center mass exactly where you are trained, you intended to kill Mr. Jean.
I did.
Her going up there and saying that she intended to kill Botham Jean only hurts as to how I understand how the law applies here.
Next, prosecutors question Guyger's argument that she opened fire in self-defense, citing the 911 call.
You didn't express one time that you shot him because he was coming at you.
I did not on the phone.
You did not express one time that he was armed.
I did not.
You didn't say one time that he put you in fear.
I did not.
How do you feel like your life is in danger if you don't even say that in the 911 call? I thought my life was in danger. She doesn't say that until afterwards when investigators begin grilling her.
Earlier in the week, prosecutors played the chilling body cam footage from Guyger's fellow officers scrambling to reach the 4th floor of the Southside Flats. Officers sprinting down a long hallway where you can see the bright red floor mat outside Jean's apartment. Something prosecutors point out is a clear sign Guyger should have noticed.
You don't have a floor mat in front of your apartment, do you?
I do not.
On the body cam footage, several officers immediately start CPR, desperately trying to save Jean, something prosecutors say Guyger did not do.
Did you properly perform CPR on Mr. Jean?
No, I did not.
And you could have, right?
I tried to do little CPR.
Why would you try and do a little CPR on a man who's dying who needs your full attention?
Because I had to keep getting up to see where I was at.
That was more important than giving life-saving help to this man.
I had no idea where I was at.
Also pointing out that she stopped CPR during the 911 call in order to text her partner and lover twice, telling him to come to the scene.
So at both of those times, you put your needs and your wants over his.
I still cared about him.
Guyger's former partner testifying Monday that after the shooting, the pair deleted those text messages and other intimate photos they shared that day.
Because you felt ashamed about your relationship with Martin Rivera, isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
But starting on September the 8th again, even though with all the texts that you deleted before that, on September the 8th, you're again sending flirtatious messages with him, sexually oriented messages back and forth with Martin Rivera again. Y'all are talking about getting drunk, isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
So as this family is thinking about having to bury their son and their brother, 2 days after the event, you are already going back to talking about getting drunk and doing sexual things with Martin Rivera.
Yes, I did.
The jury now left to consider Guyger's state of mind against the evidence.
I think if you were in the camp that thought that she was truly innocent and truly mistaken, well, those tears are only going to further put you in that camp. If you're in the camp that says she was lying from day one, I think those tears are going to be crocodile tears in your mind. So I think that those things really depend on what mindset brought you to that trial.
I hate that I have to live with this every single day of my life. And I ask God for forgiveness, and I hate myself every single day.
Words of redemption. Their weight, soon to be judged by 12 of her peers. For Nightline, I'm Marcus Moore in Dallas.
I don't know if this is possible, but can I give her a hug, please?
Nigga, what?
Please?
Yes.
This is the most
tragic thing I heard in a while, man. Especially with the ending of this particular situation with Botham Jean and Amber Guyger. I mean, this is disturbing to see. To see somebody's brother hug the killer. To see a judge hug a convicted murderer. Step off the podium and hug a convicted murderer. To see a cop stroking the hair, the bailiff stroking that hair of the woman in that courtroom that killed the man in cold blood in his own apartment when he was just chilling, eating some ice cream, watching TV. Black people, we got to do better than this, man. This dude slapped his ancestors in the face doing that. It's a slap in the face to the family. It's a slap in the face, period, to you know, anybody who's fell victim unjustly. To justify what this woman did. You know, that's why I put the video up. Let's examine this shit, because I see that this lady still has a lot of support. I see things on social media groups that shows support for this lady. And the reason why they can do this boldly as they do is because of shit like this. It's because of shit like what this man brother did. This dude told her not only he forgave her, that he loved her and wanted to give her a hug, and the judge allowed this kid to hug his brother's killer. That was a risk and overstepping a lot of codes right there doing that alone. If anything, I would have been asking to strangle her. The judge cannot strangle her now. The judge cannot implant a bullet in her head. I mean, just thoughts would be going in my mind if she killed my brother. You know. And by the fact that she allowed that hug fest to happen would shock the shit out of me. I thought I was watching a fucking movie or something. Like, this shit can't be real. Then she stepped her little black ass down there and hugged her too. After convicting her of 10 years. Then I heard a juror say that they didn't want to give her no 28 years. I couldn't see her getting no 28 years, so she got sentenced to a 10-year sentence. And I heard in Texas, you can only do half. You can do half of that and get out. 5 years. You might as well say 5 years. I believe she won't do nothing but 5. Because the brother said that she did not deserve to go to jail. I don't want you to go to jail is what he told her. I love you. And gave her a long, passionate hug. You can't sit up here and tell me that this bitch made a mistake. You can't. How do you mistake the 3rd floor from the 4th floor? An apartment that you go inside of every day. Every motherfucking day. Then you say you went into the wrong apartment. You on the wrong floor for one. You exactly directly 1 floor down. Then you go into an apartment to where you shouldn't even have not recognized in the first goddamn place. Was you fucking high or some shit? How wasted was you? How high? What kind of drugs was you doing? It couldn't have been just pure marijuana. I mean, your senses don't go down, you know, with that. So you went into the house. You claimed that your key, well, I think you broke in. You're lying, bitch. You picked the lock. Or the man door was simply unlocked. You said you stuck your key in. You went in there. Before you went in there, you heard something. Which that means you back the fuck up. You gonna enter a place where you already know somebody in there that don't belong in there because you know you live by yourself? Come on, man, get fucking real. So I guess you're still thinking you don't know where the fuck you was at So you say, yo high ass, I guess. You was better off saying I was high. You go in the house, you telling me once you step foot in the house and you see somebody that don't belong there, you looking around and you don't know where you at, you can't realize that at one point when you was pointing that gun at Botham Jean, you couldn't recognize that you wasn't in your apartment. When you saw his furniture, when you saw the way the place was made, slightly different from yours. Okay? And when did you not realize that that was your neighbor? Which you lied about that. You said you never seen him before. You stay in the same complex. He stayed one up from you. You can't tell me you never seen this man before. You fucking lying ass bitch. Wow. And this bitch gets 10 years. Do you think if Botham Jean went in her apartment and said he accidentally went in there and shot her motherfucking ass, do you think her family would give him a hug? Do you think that she would be convicted for only sentenced 10 years? Do you really believe that? Do you believe that the judge would jump her ass down there and give Botham Jean a hug if the shoe was on the other foot? Would the bailiff be stroking his motherfucking hair? I mean, that's the ultimate slap in the face, the ultimate betrayal, and it make me sick to my stomach, man. We really fighting for equality, and we got people in high positions doing shit like this. We fighting for justice, and we got our own people in the justice system that got positions in it to help make it better, doing shit like this. Family doing shit like this. Then you got the nerve to tell this bitch what your brother would have wanted. Oh, he would have wanted me to say this. No, he wouldn't have wanted you to say shit because he would have wanted to be alive, motherfucker. He would have wanted to keep going in his budding career. He would have wanted to keep going to church and things of the stuff that he liked to do. You gonna tell her to try Jesus. Man, black people was fucking retarded, man. I'm gonna say it. I'm starting to realize that black people was fucking retarded. How in the fuck could you excuse this type of fucking disgusting behavior? I heard even the father came out recently and said he has no malice for this bitch. This fucking devil bitch. How? I would never forgive somebody who would kill my brother. Never. Never in the history have I seen some shit like this. I'd be like, dog, this can't be real. This gotta be scripted or some shit. Is this to agitate people? Is this another one of these fucking crisis acting shits going on? Because I don't want to believe this shit is real. I hope that his brother receives no benefits from his death. I hope he's not in his will or no shit like that. Because this motherfucker here, I'd be rolling my grave if my brother ever did some shit like that. I would want to resurrect myself and torment his soul. That's betrayal and injustice all wrapped up into one. And I'm glad they filed a complaint on that fucking Judge Kemp, Tammy Kemp. You know, I ain't calling that bitch judge. Tammy Kemp, I'm glad they filed a complaint on you. Because you stepped over the line hugging that bitch and allowing him to hug that bitch. If anything, I would have asked you to hug her just so I can get close to her and strangle her motherfucking ass. This man should still be here. This man minding his business in his home, eating his ice cream, and somebody can walk in his home, tell him to put his motherfucking hands up and proceed to shoot him. Had all the time in the world to figure shit out. But you telling me, I don't believe shit that bitch said. The red carpet said it all. It's a red carpet in front of this man's door. She don't got no red carpet in front of her door. She live a floor beneath him. And you know for a fact once you go in somebody's house, like, damn, I'm in the wrong house. You immediately realize that. You could be drunk and realize that. You was clearing up to pull out a gun. Then I got the nerve to be sexting, sending explicit pictures, making booty calls. That's how I know you don't mind no killing. That man wasn't on your mind. You never gave a fuck about what you did to Botham. If don't nobody else give a fuck, I give a fuck. And that shit was wrong, man. Bitch, you deserve hell. Hell on earth. In the right now. In the physical. You might not got all the time you deserve. But you need to get what's coming to you sooner than later. Because when that day you do pass someone, you get to take all that hate with you. And it ain't going to be good for you. You feel me? I just feel like this is the most disgusting thing I ever seen on TV in my life. And I hope I never see no shit like this no more. There's nothing to celebrate. But to put the icing on the cake, you got that one fake ass dude talking about this is what we've been waiting on. This is justice for Tamir Rice. This is justice for Sandra Bland. This is justice for Mike Brown. Justice for Trayvon Martin. And etc. He kept going on and on and on. How in the fuck was that justice for their family? This bitch only got a 10-year sentence unless they gonna tax this bitch for every cop. You feel me? That was a slap in the face, and that was some ridiculous shit. I think I seen that dude on that Tupac program too, that documentary. Is he an actor? Is he really a fucking, part of the justice system for real? I got questions about that nigga. Stirring up the people, and people really shaking their head and clapping in agreement to that bullshit he said. When y'all niggas gonna wake up, man? Wake the fuck up! Man, look here. I can't continue this fucking shit. All right, man, I'm out.